Hello class 9th, hope you all are good. Now children, today in this video I am going to start a new chapter in biology, that is your respiratory system. Let's start the chapter. Okay, now first of all, what is respiration? Respiration is a chemical process of releasing energy by breaking down glucose for carrying out life processes. Respiration is a vital process in all living organisms. Why it is vital process in all living organism? Because this is the only process which give out energy, and this energy is required to carry out different functions inside the living organism. Energy which is released is stored as a ATP molecule, and water, being an important part of the body, is retained inside, whereas carbon dioxide, being toxic beyond certain limit, is to be eliminated or removed from the body. So it means for the purpose of aerobic respiration, there should be continuous supply of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide. So for that, what is required? Some organs are required. So the organs which involve in this process, they are called what? Respiratory organs, right? Respiratory system, all the organs in an animal that provide free oxygen and help in the removal of carbon dioxide collectively constitute the respiratory system. When the respiratory organs are lungs, then it is also called what? Pulmonary respiration. In man, pulmonary respiration is present, and the respiratory system in man and other animals, they are having what? Pulmonary respiration, and which can be studied in two parts. First is your respiratory tract, right, and second is your respiratory organs. Now first is your respiratory tract. What is respiratory tract? The path through which oxygen reaches up to the lungs and carbon dioxide is removed from the lungs is called respiratory tract. In man, it consists of a nose or nasal cavity, right? Second is your pharynx, third is your larynx, fourth is your trachea or windpipe, and fifth is your bronchi, and then lungs. Now first let's talk about the nose or nasal cavity. The respiratory tract is charted as a pair of nostrils present at the lower end of nose. Each nostril leads into a vertical tube-like structure that is called nasal chamber. In the beginning of the nasal chambers are present here that act as a strainer, and they filter the air and do not allow the dust and other large particles to enter in the respiratory tract. And all of you know that nose breathing is better than mouth breathing, as in the nose occurs filtration of air by the hair, sterilization of air by trapping the bacteria and other pathogens in mucus, moistening of air by the addition of mucus, and warming of air by radiating heat. The nose opens into the pharynx by a pair of aperture that is called internal nares. Now a pharynx is also called throat. It is a muscular funnel extending up to 13 centimeter long. It is further divided into three parts, that is your nasopharynx, which is connected to the nasal cavity. Next is your oropharynx, which is connected to the mouth cavity, and next is your laryngopharynx, which is connected to the larynx. Actually, pharynx serves a common path both for the air and food. Means up to pharynx, this food and air passes to the same pipe. Next is your larynx. It is its basic function is to keep food and drink out of the airway. At the top of the larynx is a spoon-shaped flap of cartilage that is called epiglottis. Epiglottis actually directs food and drink into the esophagus. And larynx also has an additional function of producing sound, and actually in the pharynx is present a pair of vocal cords which help in the production of sound, and that is why it is also called voice box. During swallowing of food or liquid, the larynx moves upwards so that its opening cord glottis is closed by epiglottis and food does not enter into the larynx. And the internal lining of larynx contains cilia which act as a strainers. They do not allow the dust particles to enter into the lungs. So, nasal cavity, pharynx, and larynx, these are the upper respiratory tract. Now, let's talk about the lower respiratory tract, that is your trachea and primary bronchi and lungs. Now, next is your trachea. It is also called the windpipe. It is a rigid tube and 12 centimeter in length. It is surrounded by C-shaped cartilage rings, and it enters the thorax where it divides into a pair of branches, that is called primary bronchi. The walls of trachea are supported by C-shaped cartilaginous rings that keep it always distant. These rings provide flexibility and strength to the trachea. In respiratory system, trachea's main job is to transfer the air to next junction or passage, that is called primary bronchi. Its internal linings are also lined by a ciliated epithelium that also filters the air that passes into the lungs. Now, the primary bronchi, these are a pair of tubular structures formed as a result of bifurcation of the trachea. It is also called what? Bronchi. It is divided into two parts, right mainstream bronchus and left mainstream bronchus. These bronchi enter into our lungs and further divided into several branches and sub-branches. These primary bronchi are also supported by cartilaginous rings. The respiratory organs in man are pair of lungs. The lungs are like elastic bags resembling rubber balloons. Lungs are the only organs in our body that has the property to float on water. Lungs are divided into two parts, right lung and left lung. Right lung is larger than left lung. Both lungs weighs approximately 1.3 kg, and each lung is enclosed in a double-walled pleural sac. The inner membrane is called visceral layer and the outer membrane is called parietal layer of pleural sac. Means our lungs are covered with double membrane. In between the two layers is present a space that is called pleural cavity, which is full of fluid, which is that is called pleural fluid. Pleural fluid protects the lungs from any kind of mechanical injury and shock. It lubricates the lungs for free expansion and relaxation, and pleural fluid also keeps the lungs moist for proper functioning. Each lung is a conical triangular structure. The upper pointed side is called apex and the lower broad side is called base. The left lung is slightly smaller than the right lung. The left lung is differentiated into two lobes, whereas the right lung is divided into three lobes with the help of furrows. Right? Each primary bronchus, after entering into the corresponding lung, divides repeatedly to form a network of very fine tubes. The primary bronchus divides into secondary bronchi and then gives rise to tertiary bronchi. The branches and sub-branches of primary bronchi are called bronchioles, and bronchioles are root-like structures which again divide into further branches and sub-branches, which is called bronchial tree. The air passes through these bronchial tree to the next and final functions of the respiratory system, that is called alveoli. Alveoli is the actual site of gases exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the lungs and the blood capillaries. Alveoli is called the basic unit of respiratory system. It looks like bunch of grapes. A single spherical ball-like structure of alveoli is called alveolus. Alveoli is a group of several alveolus. Alveolus, actually it is a very thin and composed of a single cell membrane. It has a blood capillaries, and the extremely thin membrane helps in very easy exchange of gases between the alveolus and RBCs flowing through the capillaries. The process of gas exchange occurs by a process that is called what? Diffusion. Actually, pulmonary artery that carries deoxygenated blood and redivides, forming a network of capillaries around each alveolus. Exchange of gases takes place between the alveoli and the blood, and the oxygenated blood is returned back to the left auricle by the pulmonary veins. In this way, this exchange of gases takes place between the alveoli and the blood. Right? Thank you, children.